All right, there we go. Now we're recording. So I will follow this email up, or this presentation up, with a follow-up email in which I will include this recording along with, if you have any questions, I probably am not going to be able to answer everybody's questions throughout the presentation, but if you put them in the chat feature of the of Teams over there, I will download those and I will answer all of those questions, and I will include those answers in the follow-up email that comes out. So as we work through this, if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat and we'll follow up with an email. You'll probably get that follow-up email tomorrow sometime. So as far as our agenda goes, I'm just going to give you a general overview of what you guys can expect from North Kansas City Schools, what your students' responsibilities should be in their online learning. We're going to talk about the student orientation module, which every student is going to be required to take. And then we're going to talk a little bit about food service and then technology. Those seem to be the big questions that keep popping up, is about food service and technology. So we'll talk about that as well. So just to give you an overview, like I said, is Canvas is our learning management system here in North Kansas City Schools. If you were with North Kansas City Schools last year, you're probably familiar with Canvas, whether you were at the high school or middle school. You probably use Canvas in some fashion. A link to Canvas is available on our students links page. The website is also there, nkcschools.instructure.com. A student will log in with their ID number and then their password, which I believe each year we reset it back to their birth date until they get their MAC, and then I believe that they can change it after that. But to get started, their password is always reset back to their birthday. So student will log into Canvas. They'll be able to see all of their courses that they selected through the virtual academy. Just keep in mind that your schedule may be a combination of the virtual academy as well as a program called Launch, which is a product of the Springfield School District. So I've gotten a couple emails about, well, I got communication around the virtual academy, but I also got this email from Springfield School District. So for example, if a course is not offered in the virtual academy that your child wanted, then they might find a course that Springfield is teaching and enroll your child in the Springfield School District Launch program. You're still a student at North Kansas City. You're just taking the class through their program with they hire those teachers, etc. So there's a possibility that you may have a kind of a combination of a schedule depending on how difficult your schedule was to fit within the offerings of the North Kansas City Virtual Academy. Okay, I got somebody saying they can't hear anything. Can you guys, can everybody hear me? Okay, Kyle Bundy's on there. He's our instructional coordinator. You might try quitting the Teams app and then getting back in. That might help. Okay. All right, perfect. Teachers, as they build their courses, they will utilize the announcements section on a weekly basis to help communicate those classroom learning targets, what assignments are required, upcoming deadlines, those types of things. You as a parent can download and install the Canvas parent app, and there are videos on how to do that on the North Kansas City Instructional Technology YouTube channel. So if you Google that, you can find some videos on there that shows you how to download that. You can subscribe to that, and it will allow you to receive those announcements as well. And teachers will also utilize within the Canvas modules, is what we call them. So there's sections of teaching to organize that learning resources so that makes it a little bit easier for students to learn within that sequential order. So you'll see that when you log into the Canvas app and click on your courses within there. So what can you expect from your teachers? Well, I met with the teachers yesterday, so you should expect that the teachers would provide timely grading and consistent feedback to your submissions through Canvas. There is a student orientation module which we built, and all teachers should be putting that in their course. So all students will need to participate in that orientation module, and that will show you more of the expectations of the use of Canvas. So it's a good model, actually. Mr. Bundy, who's on here, is the gentleman that has created that module. So teachers will import that into each of their Canvas courses. Unfortunately, as a student, you will probably end up taking that module several times because since you're virtual, you're going to have several Canvas courses. So you may end up taking that 5 or 6 times, that module, to get through. So teachers in the virtual academy are expected to follow the content IAG, which is our instructional alignment guide. So students will have the same course that they would have if they were in person. And actually, we look to hire teachers that are teaching this course in person, so to make it easier for them to transfer content from in-person learning to virtual learning, so that the students are on the same content level and also the same pacing. So your students at home would follow the same pacing as those that are in-person students. So teachers are expected to have office hours, and we've asked them to set up a minimum of 2 hours a week. So those should be posted in their Canvas courses so that you know as a student or as a parent when that teacher is available. I will let you know that these teachers are teaching a full schedule. So between 7:30 and 3:30, they are teaching that full schedule. So you'll need to pay attention to those office hours on when those teachers are available. And then the teachers, each of the high schools, their grading scales are getting closer, but the teachers were told to go ahead and follow their grading scale of their home school. So as a student, your grading scale for different classes may be different because you have teachers from different schools. So you just need to pay attention to that as you get into your courses and work with your teachers on those grading practices and what they might look like and how they might be a little bit different, but they are getting closer. And then, of course, like I said, pacing will match in-person pacing. So if at the end of first semester you decide to come back in person, then you should be on the same exact pacing as those in-person kids that are there as well. So student responsibilities, when we look at what we want to hold our students accountable for, this is a semester commitment. So we are asking you to make a commitment for a semester. Second semester starts January 18th, and the district will send out communication or sometime in December to all of our virtual parents, asking them if they would like to continue to be virtual for second semester, or if they would like to come back in person. And the only reason we're asking for a semester commitment is because of our staffing. So we want to make sure that we have consistent staffing for our kids on both virtual and face-to-face kids So we're asking for that semester commitment. As a student at home and a parent at home, we hope that you would establish a time and location at home for work to be done. A student should set up almost like an office at home where they have a workspace. They can sit there with their laptop and work on their assignments from home. But I would highly encourage you to set up a schedule. I think it will do you wonders to have certain times that you're going to work on certain subjects, etc. So. And of course, we hope that you would record and complete and return all assigned work on time. You assume responsibility, of course, for completing the work. We'd want you to inform if any additional support or needs are needed. Strive to complete the work the best of your ability. Here's always one that jumps out there is plagiarism. It's extremely easy nowadays to go copy and paste items from the internet, but I want you to be mindful that the teachers are looking for items that might be plagiarized. So another quick tip is to be sure to save your documents to your box folder, not necessarily on your desktop. I'm in a bad habit of this. I try to change my habits and save to my box folder. But sometimes it's very, very simple to save that desktop, and we would hate for anything to happen to the laptop to where it would have to be wiped clean because of something that didn't work right, and then student lose documents. It happens every year, and that's why we encourage you to save everything to that box folder. So some other student responsibilities. As a student, you should check in with your teacher on a weekly basis, whether that be through email, Canvas chat, Teams chat. You can also connect during those posted office hours, or if you need a specific time, if you're working for some reason and you can't check in during those office hours, then make sure you touch base with your teacher and request a specific time for some type of check-in. So we want to make sure that we are making some type of connection with our students on a weekly basis. So, and then the career internship students, that teacher did ask that each student set up a 5 to 10 minute meeting with the teacher at the very beginning of the course. And those kids are kids that are working. So make sure that you set up a time with your teacher to set up some expectations there. So food service. So we've been asked a lot about food service and whether or not virtual students can get breakfast and lunch. So virtual students can come into the school and pick up a breakfast or lunch for free. They do have to go through the process of checking into the office and all of those types of things. If you're a parent and you have students in multiple schools, our food and nutrition service director has told me that you can go to one school. You don't have to drive to each individual school. You can go to one school and pick up all the meals for your children. However, be mindful that the menus are different between elementary, middle, and high school. So depending on what level of children you have, you may want to check those menus before you go and pick them up. Your student lunch number will work at any of the schools. So you can go to any of the schools and pick up a lunch. Again, you just have to check in through the office and go through that. And then the menus are located at that website right there. That's our food and nutrition service website. Technology. So one of the big questions that we get is when will my child get their device? You can see there, North Kansas City High School is handing out devices on Tuesday, August 24th. Oak Park is Wednesday, the 25th. Staley is Thursday, the 26th, and Winnetonka is Friday, the 27th. And the reason they're staggered is because our technology department assists us in handing out those devices. And so with the sheer number of devices that have to be handed out, they have to stagger them like that. So the next question is going to be, my child is a Winnetonka student and doesn't get their device till Friday. What about the first few days of school? So there's a couple of things that you can do. If you have any other device at home, you can log into the Canvas app from any device, whether it be your iPhone, iPad, Android device, any laptop. So you can check in through any other device. The other thing is I have told the virtual academy teachers that they need to be extremely lenient this first week as we get devices handed out. So, not necessarily making assignments, handing out an assignment on Monday and make it due on Wednesday when your child doesn't have their device till Friday. So they are aware of that and should be very lenient with that this first week until we can get those devices out into your students' hands. So, and those are the locations that devices will be handed out. Handout does begin at 8 a.m. each morning. Virtual students are asked to come while the technology department is there. So usually handout lasts about 3 to 4 hours. So anywhere from 8 a.m. to noon, you should be able to go up to your school, let them know you're there to pick up a device. If you're not comfortable with going to the school to pick up your device, to be around kids in that setting, the technology department is actually located on the 3rd floor of the Northland Innovation Center. And that is located there at 6889 North Oak. And you can go up the day after your rollout. So if North Kansas City High School is rolling out on Tuesday, the devices are at North Kansas City High School on Tuesday, and then they're taken back to the NIC that afternoon. So Wednesday, you can go to the NIC and pick up your device if you're a North Kansas City High School kid, and so on. So, but that's when you should be able to pick up your devices. With that, that's all that I really have. Let me check the chat real quick. I know Kyle was looking in the chat, or working in the chat. He's posted a lot of documents there for becoming a parent observer and so on and so forth. And like I said, I'll download the chat. So if you have any last minute questions, feel free to post them in that chat area, and I will download that chat as soon as we get done and work to get everybody answers for those. There will be a follow-up email to all parents tomorrow that will include the recording. It will include the list of questions from the chat and any other pertinent information as far as device handout and those types of things. I will include in that follow-up email tomorrow. So if you didn't turn in your computer yet, you will want to call the technology department, and that phone number is 321 HELP 4357. 321-4357. So they may ask you to bring it in so that they can re-image it and get it all set back up. But you will need to get a hold of the technology department for that. So, all right, with that, I thank you for your time. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I hope you have a great start to your school year. If you run into any problems, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. I will be more than happy to help you. And if I can't help you, I will point you in the direction of somebody that's smarter than I am. So, like I said, expect a follow-up email from us tomorrow. And have a great weekend.